Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign. We are a people of many ages, histories, genders, bodies, identities, and beliefs, and allergies, so you're going to hear me sniffling a lot this morning. But we're all connected by a shared commitment to our mission to build community, seek inspiration, and promote justice and find peace. My name is Cindy Ingold. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a short, middle-aged, I think I'm older than middle-aged, but anyway, middle-aged woman, and I have brown hair down to my shoulders with bangs, glasses, and I'm wearing like a sky blue shirt, partly because we haven't seen the sky for a long time. I'm happy to serve as a worship associate and welcome you to this morning's service. If you are a visitor today, we bid you a special welcome and invite you to complete a connection card so you can learn more about the life of the church and be added to our weekly newsletter. If you're joining us via our live stream, please say hello in the YouTube chat and know that you too are welcome this morning. Please look around at the color-coded lanyards of your neighbors and be aware and respectful of others' needs and boundaries. We are a congregation of all ages, which means we embrace all the noises and little interruptions our kids can bring into a Sunday morning. As always, people of any age are invited to grab a coloring pack or a fidget toy from the box just outside the doors here if you want to keep your hands busy. If you need more space to stretch, wiggle around, or just make a bathroom trip, you can also go anytime across the entryway into Fellowship Hall, where the service is live streamed. Our faith development program is on hiatus for the summer, but our nursery on the lower level is available for little ones 5 and under. And everyone is invited for coffee, snacks, and conversation immediately after the service in Fellowship Hall. I know there's also a volunteer fair going on today, so you can learn about the different groups in the church in Fellowship Hall after the service. I now call us to worship with our chalice lighting. A flaming chalice has been one symbol of Unitarian Universalism for many decades, a symbol of hope, of reason, of the spark of the divine that shines in all of us. We invite those online to light a flame as we light ours with these words from Ellen Hamilton, which are titled Faith in Summer. In faith together, we light this small scrap of light, symbol of Grandfather's Son's enormous power, whose energy burns so brightly in these deep days of summer, catapulting the leaves and vines, vegetables, flowers, and fruits to astonishing size, length, and heights, spilling over the tops of cages, walls, and trellises, delighting and nourishing all beings. We bask in the warmth and the heat of these days with lighted hearts and quickened senses, in gratitude and in faith. So I now invite you to sing hymn number 1, Gather the Spirit, which is hymn 347 in the gray hymnal, and Janet is going to lead that for us. Thank you very much.
I encourage you to stand as you're able.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour, around in this light, appear.
So the order of service is a little out of place, but we did not forget that we're going to greet our neighbors. I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to hit the chime, and please stand up, talk to people you haven't met, or just say hi to people, wave, and I'll hit the chime again when we're ready to come back. As always, please continue these conversations in Fellowship Hall after the service. I think we could keep talking to each other through the whole service if we let it go on. Each week, we practice spiritual generosity by making space for the joys and sorrows we carry with us whenever we gather. We will not be doing our joys and sorrows ritual this week, so we're not doing the blessing song, because we're going to be having a harvest ritual later, and Kiri's leading that with all the abundant harvest up here. However, you can still submit a joy or sorrow card to be read aloud later in the service, or send an email to joysandsorrows@uucuc.org. We live our mission at this congregation by connecting day to day and week to week through the opportunities both within and beyond our walls. This means welcoming new members and engaging with the many opportunities offered through our faith development, congregational life, and social action councils. This morning, I want to highlight a few things that will be happening in the coming weeks. Registration for Sunday morning faith development classes and small groups such as Soul Matters will begin this week, as will opportunities to lead and facilitate classes and groups. And I know we're always looking for teachers for faith development and leaders. And if you haven't done it before, you'll be paired with somebody who's an expert and has lots of experience. Families with kids and youth, mark your calendars for Sunday, September 20th, when faith development classes begin. On August 30th, Sunday, August 30th at 1 p.m., we will be offering a taste of Soul Matters. If you are interested in joining a Soul Matters deep listening group in the coming year, this would be a great opportunity to experience how the groups can deepen your ties to community and spiritual life. Read more details about these and other events in our e-news or on the back of your bulletin, and check out the full calendar of events on Realm. Each Sunday, in recognition of our very real interdependence and reliance on each other, we pass the plate and share our offering with an organization doing the work of justice in the world. Our shared offering partner for August is Urbana-Champaign Books for Prisoners, whose mission is to provide free books and to promote education to people incarcerated in Illinois. You can give through Realm and via the online portal on our website, or if you are here in the sanctuary, the plate will be passed, and checks can be made out to UUCUC, and in the memo put shared offering. Half of all non-pledge donations will go towards sustaining the work of this church, and the other half will go directly to our shared offering partner. When the music begins, the offering will be gratefully accepted. We invite you to give whatever is generous for you. And this is also time to submit a joy or sorrow.
Our generosity comes in many forms, and we're grateful for all the ways we each give to this community. We'll now make space for our spiritual generosity and share our joys and sorrows. If you have a card still to pass forward, please feel free to share that now. I'm going to go ahead and start with the online submissions. From Marita Granvoli. Good morning. I had an unexpected pacemaker surgery on August 6th. It went well. I am currently resting at home and expect to make a full recovery by the end of the month. I am with you all in spirit. From Charles Walworth. On August 24th, I will begin my new job with the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission. I will be doing outreach and intake for people experiencing homelessness to get them connected to housing support services. I am excited to start this new role and my career in public health. Congratulations on the new job. This is from Jerry Carden and Tim Temple. We are beginning a reunion week with Tim's cousins at the Topsail Island Beach in North Carolina. Oh, that sounds pretty. His aunts started the reunion tradition, and it's great that the next generation is continuing it. From Danielle, we mourn the passing of Vasalia P. Clark, who carried the torch of justice and inclusion through her quiet, tenacious leadership at UI, City of Urbana, Cunningham Township, and elsewhere. Just see if there's any more that's come in. Oh, yep. From Robin DePietrio, sorry for my daughter navigating a very challenging breakup with a long-term boyfriend. I needed grounding energy to support her when my own heart is also breaking, as I dearly loved him like a son. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. From Christine Cahill, a joy. I think so, yes. Michael and I will be traveling to Colorado and camping with our grandchildren, 6-year-old Jack and 3-year-old Cece, and parents Tony and Colleen. That sounds like fun. All right. And then from Claudia Gross, today is the big day. Grandson Benjamin Gross is moving into the dorm on the U of I campus. Wow, congratulations. This family is here today. Ben is with the Marching Illini. Just making sure. All right, I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for everything that we have spoken aloud and the things that we still carry silently in our hearts. Thanks for making space to share these together. All right. So it's so nice to see everyone today and look at like all this wonderful stuff that we've brought. It's amazing. I always love seeing like what it ends up looking like. This service is actually one that we've done variations on a few times. And the first one was about 6 years ago, which was co-led by me and Janet Ravel Barrett. And I picked it up again once we returned to in-person services after the pandemic. And I love celebrating this time of year and the glorious abundance that the earth shares with us. Last year I took a break because I was not experiencing joy or abundance in my garden, and my heart just wasn't in it. To fully explain why I was so disappointed last year, let me give a little background on my garden. So I have a plot in a community garden at Meadowbrook Park. I'm lucky enough to have a perennial plot, so I get to keep my fence up and have the same plot year to year. 3 years ago, my first year in that plot, I had a wildly successful garden. My tomatoes really were catapulting to astonishing size, lengths, and heights, as our opening reading described. My canning pot and my heart were full. The next year, I planted my seedlings the exact same way, and I watered and waited for my tomato forest to grow. But by the middle of summer, I could tell that something was wrong. My plants were sad and small and had yellow leaves. Honestly, every time I went to the garden, I wanted to cry. After hearing me lament about my lack of produce too many times, my husband did some research and suggested that it might be either a lack or an excess of something in the soil. So we decided to get the soil tested. Sure enough, the soil came back excessively high in phosphate. It turns out that our soil around here is already high in phosphate, and so is the free manure provided to gardeners at the community garden, which perfectly explained why my plants weren't growing. Unfortunately, knowing the problem was only the beginning of solving it, because phosphate does not wash out of the soil. You can't simply wait for it to go away. It has to be actively removed from the soil by plants. Some quick calculations suggested that it would take multiple years of growth to get the phosphates level down to a tolerable level. Honestly, it was very discouraging news, and I had a fleeting moment where I wondered if I should just move to a different plot and let this one be somebody else's problem. But of course, I did not do that. So it turns out that grains are actually the best plants to draw up phosphate. And since I am a bread maker, I decided to grow wheat. I learned that growing wheat by hand is actually really, really hard. It gave me a whole new appreciation for my peasant ancestors that I'm sure were growing wheat somewhere in Europe. My mom sent me a little sign that said hope to hang on my garden fence, and that is now the unofficial name of my garden. After harvesting my wheat, I once again sent the soil for testing, hopeful that I would see results. And that would be such a neat and tidy story to tell, that I identified the problem, I found the solution, and it should be on its way to being fixed. But that wasn't what my soil test said. In fact, after a year of work, there was no change in the phosphate levels. And that disappointment is why I wanted to share this story today, because I feel like the problem I am facing in my garden reminds me so much of all the problems that we are facing in the world. I know that many of us feel so keenly all the hate and harm that we hear about every day. We want to build a beloved community, but our current reality seems far from it. I think the one thing that keeps me trying to solve the problems that I am facing, both in the garden and in the wider world, is hope, which sounds very trite, but I am not thinking of the cutesy hope that is on my little sign in my garden. I am thinking of the hope found in the poem, "Hope is not a bird, Emily, it's a sewer rat," by Caitlin Seda. I first heard this poem when Julia Cronin shared it in a service, and it has stuck with me ever since. And I wasn't going to share the whole thing, but I think I actually am. I actually have it on my phone. That's how much I like this poem. So, hope is not the thing with feathers that comes to roost when you need it most. Hope is an ugly thing with teeth and claws and patchy fur that has seen some shit. It's what thrives in the discards and survives in the ugliest parts of our world, able to find a way to go on when nothing else can even find a way in. It's the gritty, nasty little carrier of such diseases as optimism, persistence, perseverance, and joy, transmissible as it drags its tail across your path and bites you in the ass. Hope is not some delicate, beautiful bird, Emily. It is a lowly little sewer rat that snorts pesticides like they were lines of coke and still shows up on time to work the next day, looking no worse for wear. That is the type of hope that helped me pick up the shovel and plant corn this year. Maybe the soil test will go better this time around. We'll see. I'm a recovering perfectionist, so I tend to think that if something of mine isn't perfect, it is worthless. That's the part of me that just wanted to abandon my garden and start over. My current garden isn't perfect. It is still very much struggling. It's actually struggling even more this year because the deer broke in and ate all of my tomatoes. But I keep trying new ways to compensate and figure out which plants don't seem to care about the soil. The strawberries and the blackberries are actually thriving. There are so many really terrible problems in our world, and yet the world gives us so many beautiful things, like all of these wonderful things that some of it's from the farmer's market, some people brought. So this year, I hope that you can see everything that we have gathered as representing all the good things that grow and thrive and keep us sustained, even in the midst of all the things that try to take hope from us. And now we're going to have everybody come up. So, and I hope everybody really does take something. If you don't want a vegetable, there's some fruit, there's flowers, there's herbs. But I'd love for everybody to have something to take home with them. And I do have little plastic baggies for like some of the smaller things like the cherry tomatoes or green beans, so you can take a handful. And if you prefer to stay seated for whatever reason, the ushers are going to come around with baskets, so just raise your hand and they will bring you a basket. So, all right, Juan is going to play for us, and everybody can start coming up. I guess we'll start from the back. How about that? So last row, come up first. And now Janet is going to come up and lead us in a new hymn, So We Go.
I would like to invite you to listen to this new song from the Sing Out Love hymnal, the digital one. You'll just see the text up there. So I think to introduce it to you, I will sing the verses, but I'll have you listen for the phrase, so we go, which is kind of the refrain, and that repeats 3 times. So once you hear it, you'll be able to catch on and join me.
Come as the summer turns toward autumn, come as the long night stars climb higher, come as times unceasing turning wheels us round the harvest fire. So we go from daylight toward the night. So we go, turning on through life. Come as the sun turns bearded barley from soft green to a brazen bronze. Come as the sunflowers rest their heads in the peace of sleep while the sun spins on. So we go from daylight toward the night. So we go, turning on through life. Come as mistakes turn into wisdom. Come as the rash becomes the sage. Come as the blooms of youth grow into the feast and seed of our autumn days. So we go from daylight toward the night. So we go, turning on through life. We're going to repeat the last phrase. So we go from daylight toward the night. So we go, turning on through life.
Thank you so much, Janet, and thanks everybody for coming up and taking vegetables. And everything that's left up here is going to be donated. So Solagradia Farm has a program where you can bring produce, and then they distribute it out through the community through their established channels. So nothing's going to go to waste. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to close with our usual extinguishing words from Reverend Elizabeth Selly Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.